Tja, weiter geht's jetzt, sagt, zum Kuratorium der Geheimnisse. Geht es jetzt weiter zur geheimnisvollen ersten Etage des Kuratoriums?
So this is your method for investigating Rarir's past. It almost looks like some kind of ceremony.
Good deduction. But it's quite a different affair from what you're used to with the Frostmoon Scions.
Whoa! First time I've ever been in here. Boss always said it was off limits, so I pictured some kind of creepy dungeon. But it's actually kinda nice. Oh, I guess this must be Sumero decor? That's where Boss is from. And that nice shopkeeper who sold me my treasure compass.
I'm not sure exactly what you've got planned, but it looks like you're all set. When do we begin?
Whenever we wish. But for some reason, I've got a feeling this isn't going to end well. I've never faced Rarir myself, but from what you've told me, his power is beyond anything I could imagine. I, on the other hand, am just an ordinary businesswoman. Our paths should never have crossed, yet here I am, forced to make an enemy of him.
If you ask me, you're about as far from ordinary as it gets. So what are you saying? You're getting cold feet?
Once I take a job, there's no backing out. Still, I have to ask myself if the power I'm relying on will even work on an opponent of this caliber. And also how to make sure I come out of this alive if things spiral out of control. Death is the one thing we can take for granted. It is the great equalizer, however fortunate or unfortunate we may otherwise be. So it's important to consider how to spend what lifespan we have left.
Come on, boss. Lighten up. Quit talking about death. It's bad luck.
For once, I agree with you. When you're up against a foe like Rarir, there's no such thing as being too prepared. Is there anything I can do to help?
That won't be necessary. I've already made up my mind. Time to cash in a precious favor I've been saving for a rainy day. Yehoda, I need you to find someone for me. The sooner the better.
Eh? Find who?
That shady merchant who sold you an overpriced treasure compass the other day.
Come on, boss. You're pulling my leg again. In what way is she shady? She showed up when I was completely lost and sold me a neat little gadget that was exactly what I needed. Trust me, she's a good person. Anyway, I know who you're talking about. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Kurze Zeit später.
Hey, aren't you?
What is it? What's the big rush? You dragged me out of a dream where I was literally swimming in Mora. I'm charging double my usual attendance fee. See, look how easygoing she is. After that rude awakening, she could have completely snapped at us. But instead, she kept it together and just asked for an extra fee.
Dori Sangama Bay? I never would have pictured you two doing business together.
If you want to make it big and not cry, it's all about connections. Lady Nefer just so happens to have a lot of intel that interests me. And she also did me a big favor in the past. It was back when I first arrived in Notcry. My trusty assistant, the genie in my lamp, had an adverse reaction to the Kuvaki and fainted. And wouldn't you know it, that's when I suddenly find myself in a life-or-death situation. Good thing my compatriot was there to swoop in and save the day. I've been giving her a 30% discount off all of my goods ever since. Now, so that no one here feels left out, I'm willing to extend a 20% discount to fellow friends of Boss Nefer. Plus, any other friends you send my way will enjoy 10% off. Huh, what can I say? The great Lord Sangamabe is nothing if not generous. So, let me guess. You've run into some trouble? I've got everything you could possibly need. And the more you buy, the more you'll save.
You guessed correctly. What have you got in the way of survival gear?
The one type of gear I've never been short on. What are you looking for? A jetpack fresh from the Academia's labs? An ancient suit of armor dredged up from the bottom of the sea? At the very least, I need to know what kind of opponent you're dealing with here. If even you're worried about staying alive, it must be pretty serious.
What if I told you it's someone with the power to bring a nation to its knees?
Is that so? Then we really are talking top-shelf treasures. I don't have anything like that in stock right now. I'll have to ask my supplier.
Your supplier?
Ja, in diesem Fall ist es, sagt nun Miss Alice vom Hexenzirkel. Das ist auf jeden Fall eine ihrer Lieferanten. Ansonsten hätten wir da, er sagt sowieso auch noch Skirk, doch die taucht, er sagt nun wirklich, er sagt nicht gerade so häufig auf.
A powerful woman, make no mistake. I can't reveal her identity, but luckily for you, I hear she's planning to visit Notcry in the near
Jo,
future.
ist Alice. Die Mutter von Klee.
If you're willing to wait, I can ask her when she's here. Can't say exactly how long that'll be, though.
Then, let me put it another way. What would you do if you encountered an enemy like that? Roll over and serve yourself up on a silver platter?
Of course not. I have a handy little trinket from one of my generous suppliers, which... Hold on. What exactly are you getting at? No, no! This is for my personal use only!
Let's just say I'm borrowing it, all right? Just for insurance purposes. You'll get it back later. Favors are the worst kind of debt to owe, and now you've got a chance to repay one. A win-win situation, don't you think?
Fine. You can borrow it for 5 days. No, make that 3. And for every extra hour after that, I'm charging you 1,000,000 mora. Deal?
Deal.
What a way to start the day. Now, was there anything else you wanted? Or can I go back to bed now?
That will be all. Take care now. Don't trip up on your way back, friend.
See you later! You're my favorite shopkeeper.
Excellent. Everything is well and truly ready. The ceremony can now begin. After initiating the ceremony, your minds will follow me wherever I go. You will see many strange things in your mind's eye. So remember, don't be frightened and don't make a sound.
Nachdem Nefer die Grundregeln für alle aufgestellt hat, geht's los.
Now then, let us peer into the Raker of Solnari's past.
Okay, das wird interessant werden.
I made it.
Willkommen in Khenria jetzt?
I don't recognize this style of architecture. Must be Conrian. Simple furnishings, table and chairs. It's a more ordinary house than I might have expected. Looks like the fearsome Raker of Solnari came from surprisingly humble beginnings. Unless this passed for luxury in Conria. Unlikely. It was said to be a very prosperous nation in its heyday. Anyway, I'll keep exploring.
Tja, dann schauen wir uns doch jetzt hier erstmal ein klitzekleines bisschen um. Ein paar Kisten stehen neben dem Schrank. Alles, was man sieht, ist fein säuberlich sortiert. Wer auch immer hier lebt, scheint ein ziemlich angenehmes Leben zu führen. Okay, und damit hätten wir jetzt, hier Rerir zu sehen, wie er, vor, naja, seiner wilden Jagd aussah. Oder besser gesagt, jetzt sehen wir, wie Rerir aussah, bevor er, naja, das Zeitliche segnete. Hat wirklich schon ein klitzekleines bisschen Ähnlichkeit mit Welt. Aber höchstens von der Haarfarbe. Eine handschriftliche Notiz.
Hi, Rerir. Since you're working extra hours tonight, I thought I'd keep myself busy by checking out that new kebab shop. I've heard good things about their menu. I'll test it out, and if it's as good as everyone's saying, let's go back together sometime.
Also mit einem Kebabladen hätte ich in Kenria nun wirklich jetzt nicht gerechnet.
P.S. New stash from the Universitas Magistrorum. I brought some goodies home. A few teacups and a pin rack. Hope you like them.
They didn't sign their name. But they must have been close. Sounds like they were living together.
Und sie wird dann höchstwahrscheinlich der Grund sein, weshalb er jetzt das tut, was er tut. Er will seine Geliebte wieder zurück ins Leben holen.
I went over to Joseph's for drinks today. They have a fine collection, but I went alone. Felindis was tied up with something and couldn't make it. Joseph asked why I came alone, but I didn't really have an answer. He then went on to ask about other things. If you ask me, someone who asks that many personal questions is too nosy for their own good. But if he invites me again, chances are I'd still go.
Felindis. That's the same name Rerir mentioned.
Crane imports keep falling. If things don't pick up, we'll soon be back to meat and mushrooms only. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of that new type of mushroom everyone's been into lately. Didn't it start out as a lab-grown variety? I heard it's even mildly corrosive. Seriously, why would you even eat something like that? I don't care if it's an impressive feat of alchemy. That just isn't the kind of thing I like to eat.
Grain has to be imported, and they're eating a diet of mostly meat and mushrooms. Could it be because Khaenri'ah is underground, so it doesn't get much sunlight?
Das ist jetzt auch mal eine neue interessante Information. Ich dachte, er sagt nicht, dass Khaenri'ah unterirdisch lag. Okay, wir haben, in der Wüste von Sumeru ja auch ein großes Tor gesehen. Was ja auch zu Khaenri'ah gehört, aber ich hatte eigentlich nicht erwartet, dass es unterirdisch war.
That would explain why they use so much stone in their buildings. They even use alchemically modified strains for food. Seems like the people of Khaenri'ah don't have many options when it comes to dining.
I've just about saved up enough now. Time to buy it and keep it somewhere safe.
Making a big purchase. I wonder what it is.
Das meiste, was in dem Tagebuch steht, sind banale Details aus dem Alltag. Es ist klar, dass der Verfasser ein gewöhnlicher Bürger aus Khaenri'ah war, oder zumindest vorgab, einer zu sein. Die Handschrift des Autors verrät nichts, sie ist weder auffällig noch versteift. Tatsächlich hinterlässt sie keinen besonderen Eindruck.
He really is a professional. No wonder he's so good at covering his tracks. Despite what he's become, it seems like he's retained certain habits, at least in this regard.
Am Ende des Tagebuchs fällt dir eine Seite mit einer flachen Vertiefung am unteren Rand auf. Die vorherige Seite wurde herausgerissen, der Inhalt bleibt vorerst ein Geheimnis.
Did Rerir rip it out himself?
Aber mit einem Stift hinterlässt man Spuren. Mit etwas wie Holzkohle, um etwas Farbe hinzuzufügen, muss man nur den richtigen Winkel finden. Als Neva sich umsieht, bemerkt sie einen guten Kohlestift auf dem Schreibtisch. Kurz darauf stellt sie die fehlenden Worte wieder her. Im Vergleich zu der zuvor eher unscheinbaren Handschrift sind diese Zeilen in einer raueren, eher willkürlichen Art gekritzelt worden, so als ob die Person, die sie geschrieben hat, in einem emotionalen Zustand war.
Before I met you, I was convinced that my heart was nothing more than a stagnant pool. The burial place of a fallen moon. A withered, windless grove where the waters rested forever unrippled. It was you who helped me see that my heart hadn't entirely withered away. That it could still beat to the rhythm of love.
This is just trivial sentimentality from the looks of it. Why would he go to the trouble of hiding that? The burial place of a fallen moon.
Okay, dann beobachten wir jetzt seine Erinnerung.
Rerir, over here.
Dane! Oh, and, Vedelfin here? What a surprise to see you here, sir.
Wer bitteschön war jetzt noch Vedrolfnir? War das, sag jetzt, Skirks Master gewesen?
Hello there, Rerir. You need not address me so formally outside of court.
Ne, glaube ich wohl jetzt eher nicht. Und zu Gesicht bekommen wir den jetzt sowieso auch nicht.
He doesn't get that much free time, so I invited him over for a drink. Even the court prophet deserves a break every now and then, right?
Oder wird das jetzt der Name von Danes Bruder? Bin mir dabei jetzt auch überhaupt nicht sicher. Die anderen Namen habe ich wirklich nicht so auf dem Schirm.
Well, I'm flattered.
So, what are we discussing today?
Hey, don't look at me. As far as I see it, we don't need an excuse to have a few drinks.
Come on, don't give us that. Didn't you say you were about to pop the big question? How's that coming along?
Who'd have thought the great Twilight Sword was an even greater gossip?
I just didn't expect you to be the first one to settle down and get married, that's all.
Yeah. If you told me that a few years ago, I wouldn't have believed you either.
So, are you planning to come clean about your job then? I'm guessing you still haven't told her.
Sure, I'll have to tell her at some point. But I'll need to pick the right time and place. To be honest, I have no idea how she'll take it.
Come on, stop being such a pessimist. For all you know, she could be thrilled. I bet she'll be much more impressed by your actual job than the one she thinks you're doing now. A member of the King's Guard. Quite the cover story. Does the king himself even know?
Of course he does. Anyway, enough about me. How have you been?
Me? Same old, same old. Nothing much to... Huh? What's up, Ved?
It's nothing.
Vedifulnir, Dainslift's elder brother. Renowned throughout the court of Conria as the Visionary, and said to possess a wisdom far beyond the reach of any ordinary man.
Okay, es war also doch der Bruder von Dane.
And yet, despite the gulf between us, he seems to have something to say about me. Does he even know me? Does he see me as a friend of his brother, or just another of the Vinster King's blades? Why did he react so strongly? Was it really to do with what we were talking about?
Brown, curly hair and brooding blue eyes. So this is what Rerir looked like back in the day. Perfectly normal. No different from anyone else. As frightening as this monster is in the present, there's something even more unsettling about seeing the human he used to be.
Gut, beobachten wir ihn also jetzt weiterhin. Vorm Spiegel also.
Felindis? You're back early?
Our equipment's being serviced today, so I got off earlier than usual. How's your day been?
Sie hatte, sagt eigentlich ja für jemand aus Kenria recht unübliche Augen, muss man sagen. Diese Augen haben ja schon was vom Mond an sich. Muss man eigentlich ja wirklich sagen. Ja, man muss also wirklich sagen, sie stammte sicherlich nicht aus Kenria. Vielleicht war sie auch eine der 3 Mondgötter.
Aw, why the long face? Is something the matter? Has your boss been giving you a hard time again?
Went for a drink with Dane and the others after work.
Isn't that a good thing?
Vedifilnir showed up today, too. You know, Daneslif's older brother.
Ah, Mr. Vedifilnir. Yes, I've heard of him. They say that everything he says ends up coming true.
He overheard Daneslif mention that I'd recently proposed, and seemed to have an issue with it. But when I asked what it was, he kept it to himself.
So, you're worried? You can be such a child sometimes, Revier. We're nobodies. Why would the Visionary be concerned about us? I'm sure someone in his position has much bigger fish to fry.
Maybe you're right.
You worry too much, Revier. We've been together for ages now, and everything's been going so well, has it not? You've even proposed to me.
So, you do remember. Tell me then. What's your answer?
Like I said, I need some time to decide. You can't just rush into things like this. We may be nobodies in the grand scheme of things, but if we want things to work out, we've still got to plan ahead.
All right. Take your time. Just don't keep me waiting forever. Nobodies. Sounds about right. In the eyes of people like Vedifilnir and Daneslif, what do we matter? Can someone whose gaze is so fixed on a far-flung future even see the present clearly? Besides, the dynasty's fate rests with the king and his inner circle. Whatever I do, it won't make much difference. Meanwhile, every idea they come up with, every decision they make, it affects everything. These days, the king is lost in his research, and the purge of the Crimson Moon bloodline grows ever more intense. The opposition tried to speak out, but nothing came of it. And I'm under no illusions as to why. Because we eliminated them and got rid of their bodies. A man can have 1,000 reasons to carry a sword, but there are few good excuses to use it. Yet the king has never even considered a gentler approach, and he never will. What becomes of someone who kills on another's behalf? Can he ever find true peace? Felindis, It's nothing. You were right. Fate has never smiled upon nobodies like us. But by the same token, it's unlikely to bear a grudge against us either. There's no reason we can't keep living happily together, cherishing the simple joys of each day as they come.
See? You just need to stay positive, Revier. I can feel your warmth, your breath. You're right there, right by my side. Just seeing you makes me happy in a way I can't explain, and that's something that no one could ever take away from me. So smile, my love. Let go of that frown.
You're right, Felindis. I've just been overthinking things.
That's better. Getting caught up about things like this will only ruin our evening. Speaking of which, all set for the ball tonight? I need to go get ready.
You go ahead. I just have a few things to take care of, then I'll come join you.
Even busier than the big shots, huh? Fine, I'll go get started. But don't be late. If you keep me waiting too long, I won't be a happy bunny.
Relax. I'll be there. Seriously, though, you drive a hard bargain. You're really gonna leave my proposal hanging and still expect me to take you to the ball?
Well, that goes without saying. I already told everyone I'd be coming with a dance partner. Besides, they're two completely different things. Let's take it one thing at a time, all right?
All right. White outfit it is.
It seems like Rerir was deliberately hiding his ties to the intelligence services by giving the impression that he was just an ordinary member of the Vinster King's Guard. He clearly doesn't want his would-be fiancée to know about his other life. Then again, that's hardly surprising. People in the intelligence trade rarely do. Who'd have thought we were in the same line of work? Let's dig a little deeper.
Okay, jetzt sogar noch der Sondereinsatz.
Our last operation was a resounding success, and all thanks to you, Rahier of Solnari. In total, we apprehended 32 dregs of the Crimson Moon, and 67 accomplices.
After all these years since the dynasty's fall, so many of them still linger on.
Indeed, it cannot be denied. Yet it was destiny that the Crimson Moon should be overcome by the eclipse, and that His Majesty, the all-seeing Vinster King, now guides our nation on the path to prosperity. Khaenri'ah has no further need for a dead moon. But alas, there will always be those who refuse to see the truth, choosing instead to romanticize the past.
That's not entirely true. Much about the Crimson Moon era was worthy of remembrance. And that's exactly why they keep trying to see it restored. Many of its secrets remain unsolved to this day. As it happens, that's precisely the field of study my partner is devoted to.
You still haven't told her what you really do for a living.
Where would I even start? How do you tell someone that you're one of the king's hand-picked executioners? That your hands are steeped in blood?
You didn't choose this life, any more than I did. Orphans like us don't get a say.
But I'll sure as heck be the one to pay for it. Speaking of which, we need to be more rigorous in the way we identify direct descendants of the Crimson Moon. Someone, it seems, has strong opinions about my future plans. Most likely my marriage in particular. I have a feeling that we may soon become targets of the Crimson Moon's retribution.
Your concerns are not unfounded. They've taken out many of our colleagues these past few years, and for that very reason. These are no helpless lambs we're leading to the slaughter. They're wolves in sheep's clothing. Take care, Rahier of Solnari. I look forward to toasting you at your wedding.
Thanks, Thorkel. You look after yourself, too. Thelindis, I never wanted to keep this from you. You're the last person I would ever want to lie to. But that's exactly why I can't tell you everything. There are things you shouldn't know. Things you cannot know. The moonlit dynasties are a thing of the past. Yet even now, with the sun shining high in the sky, there are those who would call forth a dead moon's ghost. Could that be why Vedalfnir held back? Or was it because of some court secret he's not at liberty to share? I have to get a clear answer from him. No matter what happens, I will protect Thelindis.
Rerir seems to be very concerned by Vedalfnir's reaction. Vedalfnir and Dainsleif, the Visionary and Twilight Sword. So that's what they were really like. I've investigated this whole area now. There doesn't seem to be any other memories here. Should I try somewhere else? Wait a second. What's this black smoke?
So, he's late after all. Just you wait, Rerir. You're in for it. Big time.
Are you waiting for someone, ma'am? Could I tempt you into buying some flowers?
Oh, sure. Pick me out a pretty bunch if you would.
Thank you. But I'm afraid none of them are as pretty as you.
For someone so young, you sure have a way with words, don't you?
I'm only telling the truth. Look me in the eyes. You'll see I'm not lying.
Der scharlachrote Mond. Die gleichen Augen, die auch Alecchino hat.
May we have a word in private?
Who are you? And what do you want?
It doesn't matter who I am. Too many of our kind have fallen lately, so I decided to take the risk of reaching out. Not long ago, the Rey here of Solnari led an assault on one of our strongholds. We suffered many casualties, and many who came to our aid lost their lives as well.
Sorry, I don't know why you're telling me this. And I don't want to get involved.
Wait, hear me out. This time we finally got a clear look at his face and learned his true identity. His name is Rerir, and he claims to be one of the King's guards.
What did you say?
A cruel irony, isn't it? The man you're set to marry leads a double life as a brutal executioner. But surely, you must have caught a whiff of the blood on his hands.
Why are you telling me all of this now?
Simple. It's because...
How strange. Rerir was nowhere to be seen in that memory. It clearly belonged to Thelindis. Rerir couldn't possibly know what happened if he wasn't even there. Why would her memories appear in his fragment? The ceremony won't last much longer. I think it's time to call it a day.
Tja, sehr interessant vor allem.
So that was your doing? Did you just pull us inside Rerir's fragment to spy directly on his memories?
Any more questions, and I'll have to start charging.
I had no idea you could do that, boss! Seriously, that was amazing! We're not worthy. We're not worthy! I gotta admit, though, I'm itching to see what happens next. Feels like we barely scratched the surface.
I'm just as curious as you are. But the ceremony only allows for limited time inside. That's all we can see for now. Luckily, we managed to learn quite a lot.
So far, so good. I just hope the others are doing okay too. Especially the group with the Traveler. Their mission is a risky one. Let's hope it's all going smoothly.
If you're worried about them, go see how they're doing.
If I know Boss, she's gonna need some time to write up all the details and make sure it's all coherent. I'll stay behind to lend a hand, but feel free to head back and meet up with the others.
Tja, damit geht's jetzt, weiter zum Donnerriff. Aber jetzt würde ich eigentlich zu gerne erstmal eine Pause einlegen. Die wir jetzt nicht machen dürfen.
Prowling around for nearly 2 days now. These things just won't quit. They might not have seen us yet, but them constantly sweeping the area, our way out is completely blocked.
Tja, wir müssen uns einfach nur vorbeischleichen.
Oh, that's never gonna work. One little slip up and it's game over. If they spot us, they'll run straight back to Rerir. And once he knows we're here, it won't be long before he's breathing down our necks again.
Tja, trotzdem müssen wir es versuchen.
Oh, guess you're right. Alright, time to zip it.
Aber das, liebe Leute von heute, würde ich jetzt an der Stelle erstmal lieber im nächsten Part machen. Moment mal, das ist jetzt irgendwie interessant. Und unerwartet. Wir können jetzt einfach hier wirklich uns abmelden. Abgesehen davon hat der Sack jetzt die Optik hier ein klitzekleines Upgrade gekriegt. Ein paar Rundungen haben der Sack ja hier Okay, das war jetzt irgendwie auch eine neue Aktion von Paimon, die ich bis jetzt auch noch nie gesehen habe. Aber ja, der Knopf für Verlassen und gedrückt halten zum Abmelden haben jetzt neue Rundung gekriegt.
Where'd that wind come from?
Okay, die Sache da jetzt hier mit Paimon, das ist wirklich auch eine neue Animation, die hinzugefügt wurde ins Spiel. Mit sowas hätte ich jetzt... Das war jetzt, sag nicht, dass ich...
They've been prowling around for nearly 2 days now. These things just won't quit. Oh, they might not have seen us yet, but that's never... If they spot us, they'll run straight...
Okay, ich denke mal, an der Stelle machen wir jetzt erstmal Schluss für heute. Und im nächsten Part sehen wir dann wirklich erstmal weiter. Ah, da ist ja die wilde Jagd. Also, tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal. Okay, dann eben gleich nochmal von vorne.
They might not have seen us. That's never... If they spot us, they'll run...
Okay, jetzt sagt noch einmal tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal. Wir sehen uns dann beim nächsten Mal wieder, wo wir vor der wilden Jagd fliehen.